What's up? What's good? Matt Clark here at the new Matt Clark. How each and every one of you doing on this amazing Monday? I'm doing great. My girl's doing great. My family's doing great. I hope each and every one of you are doing great, even though we're living through chaotic times. Once again, if you could please hit that like button, if you could please hit that subscribe button and that bell notification button so you get all my videos when they're new. If you could share with somebody on social media, help spread the message, help spread the word, that'd be amazing. And there's a PayPal option if you'd like to donate, help support the channel. The link is in the description of all of my videos. So what's up, what's up, what's up? How is everybody doing on this amazing Monday? I'm doing okay. You know, yesterday was Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all those fathers out there, people that work every day to provide, protect, and to teach, to be, just good kids, good people all around. So happy Father's Day to you guys. So what's up, Cassidy? What's up, Mike Harris, Chris K, Jerry Cullen? What are you guys saying? Who else is here? Wayne will do it. What up? Hey, buddy. What's up? I'm good, day by day, trying to learn how to use my computer better. I downloaded OBS. I'm trying to learn how to use OBS. So hopefully sooner than later, I'm able to, expand my video content, but in the meantime, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing and learning what I'm learning when I have the time to do it. And eventually we're going to get there. The videos are going to be great. I guarantee that. I need to get a mic too. Bike Life 416, man. What's up? What's up? So what's everybody saying on this Monday? Obviously, for me, it's just another work day. I get up every day, 5:30 in the morning. I'm out the door by 6:30 in the morning. I don't get home till 5:30. So basically, Monday to Friday, it's work. Work. You don't have much energy for anything else. But, obviously, I have the channel, so we do that as well. And I've been feeling pretty good the last few days. I feel rejuvenated. I feel healthy. I feel, I don't know. I just feel like I'm in a good place. Ask a grade 2. They teach you. Hey, what's good? King Rock, what up, man? What are you saying? I'm good personally. Another day in paradise. You know what I mean? But like I said, every day that you're out here, when you've lived that way, it gets better and better. You think when you come to these, they almost feel like road jams, but really they're obstacles, right? Something starts challenging you, and when you get challenged, me anyways, the way that I always thought, when I get challenged, a lot of the time, I just avoid that confrontation altogether and go the other way, rebel all the way. And, once you learn to kind of get through those little obstacles bit by bit, they get easier and easier to deal with. And you just feel good about doing the right thing. And you feel good about the progress you're making. And it's a snowball effect. Appreciate that, Joe Flyers. Joel, what's good, man? I appreciate the support, my brother. We got some catching up to do. Things have been busy. Life has been hectic, as I'm sure it has been for everybody, This last year has been crazy, right? Even though everything that's happened, I've still had to work all the whole time, which is great. I've been blessed to be able to work like that. And just with everything that's going on, all the mental strain of not knowing what's happening day by day, it just gets exhausting. And we all know that. That's everybody, though. It's not just me. So I'm not asking or playing a sob story. I'm just saying, and I'm starting to feel like I'm in a more positive place than I was maybe like a month ago, where I was starting to get a little bit stressed out and overwhelmed when I took that break. And, I just think sometimes it takes a little bit of work and you have to challenge yourself. You can't just take the easy way out all the time. And when you, like I said, when you start conquering those things, it becomes easier and easier. Wilson, man, I appreciate that. Shout out to you. And I'll do my best to keep grinding, man. Honestly, I don't find it difficult because I'm the kind of person that's kind of go, 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 right? Like there's no chill really. So if I'm not sleeping, I'm active. And I think I just realized that the best answer for me and the best way for me to be successful is to occupy all my time with positive things. And I think before, boredom and just not having anything to work for, not having any purpose or really any, anything to really care about, I just think that things change, and it's great. I love it. I love the challenges. I love the way it feels when you get past it. Jerry, man, I appreciate that. And if it comes easy, you're not learning anything from it. Chances are, there's exceptions to the rule all the time, but we all know that the more you go through, the stronger you get, the wiser you get. Certain things happen in your life and you learn, okay, I can't do this. It's better I stay away from that. And of course, me personally, it took a little longer than it would most people, but that's because I'm a knucklehead. Most people would get it right away. But you're right. Nothing does come easy. Nothing worth it anyways. So what do you guys want to talk about today? What's the topic of conversation? What's on your guys' minds? Usually lots of questions. Have I tried Kratom? Nope, never tried Kratom. I'm on Suboxone, but aside from that, my recovery is going great. I smoke weed. Aside from that, no hard drugs except for Suboxone since 2016. Prison gangs. I don't really talk about specific gangs on my channel. I just, just not really what I want to do. But, any prison you go to, there's gangs. But for the most part, I find in Ontario, what they do is they do their best to keep neighborhoods that beef separate so they don't have those problems. Now, obviously, sometimes people slip through the cracks. Maybe they don't know it's from a specific neighborhood, or maybe it's like aligned with a specific neighborhood. But for the most part, they try to keep guys apart. Now, I don't know about out west or out east, what happens with the gang stuff. I know there's an STG across the province and the country, I'm sure. But, I don't really want to get much more into it than that. But, we all know that any prison you go to, there will be gangs. And there will be certain people that if you get into confrontations with them, there is a risk that said gang will get involved. So you always have to be aware. And you should be aware anyways, because when you're in the penitentiary, there's a lot of really serious dudes. So if you fight somebody, you may fist fight somebody that you don't see as like a real physical threat, or maybe you do, but you still fist fight them anyways and you win, but you haven't really done your homework and you don't realize that this guy's a straight savage. There could be consequences to all your actions. You could be walking down the street, get shot in the face. You have to know what you're doing. You have to know who you're beefing. You have to know what it is. And at the end of the day, that doesn't mean that you don't defend yourself in all situations, because you have to in certain situations. But I've seen a lot of guys making the mistake of, sometimes going at guys that maybe don't necessarily look like they're a physical specimen or a problem. And then later on, you hear about them losing their lives. Manitoba is gang infested. Sass is gang infested. Enough said. You already know, my brother. Does Hells Angels have influence in Canadian jail still? I have, your guess is as good as mine, but I'm sure if they do have, I'm sure they would, And it says in Ontario, it's about where you're from, your neighbor. Exactly. In Ontario, like for sure you do have Crips and you do have Bloods, but for the most part, it's neighborhood beef. And, there's enough people that talk about that. I don't need to talk about that. I know a lot of people from all sides, and it's just not something that I want to profit off of or benefit from. It's not really my place. You know what I mean? This country is getting bad too, with that shooting at the party and all those kids getting shot. Crazy here. Yeah, I just think in general the whole world is kind of going crazy, you know? You know, everybody's rights are kind of being stripped from them bit by bit by bit. At least it feels that way. And I think mental health is at an all-time high, and there's a lot of things that are going on and a lot of different mitigating and non-mitigating factors that contribute to the tension, the stress, the rises in crime, violent crime, stuff like that. It goes hand in hand. Alcohol abuse, overdoses. It's not an easy time. You know, there's a lot of people that are out of work, can't afford to pay the bills. You know, maybe they don't have anywhere to live, and there's just nowhere open for you to go. Things just get like that, right? Specifically right now, and I think there's a lot of people that feel hopeless, and it's crazy, man. Hopefully we get through it, and hopefully everybody, you know, learns a very valuable lesson from this. Because I know I did. I know I did. I know that I learned that I have to be way more prepared. Gordon, hey, what up, Matt? When you were finishing up parole, you ever get anxious, borderline paranoid that something was going to happen to get you caught up? Now, I'll say in the past, I was always paranoid because I was always skating the line. I would use sometimes, and even if I wasn't using, I'd be hanging out with people I probably shouldn't have been, going places. Like if I was in a halfway house, I'd say I was here, but I'd be going here. So I'd skate the line a lot. But the last time I was on parole, I just lived life, worked, stayed away from anybody involved in the BS, and it was quite easy. It was quite easy. The first 3 months, I had an ankle monitor on, which I hated once I got out of recovery. That was terrible. But I had to live with that. I was lucky enough to be able to find a job that understood, blessed, and you know, the rest is history. But I would definitely say that I would get anxious on parole. I would be worried on parole. And I would be paranoid at times on parole in the past. I know how it goes with gang things. Oh, you're from the town. Okay. Chris K. Great to be clean. Keep the recovery going. I got 13 years on methadone. You already know. Whatever it takes. It's not always about 100% sobriety. It's and it's what works for you. And for some people, sobriety, but there's a lot of people that are 100% sober, but they're not in recovery. They're tripping out every day. They're stressed. They're anxious. And it's just a matter of time before, bah! You have to find what works for you specifically. And for me, it was harm reduction. How was it dealing with your worst cellie? Mitch, what's up, man? Well, this is the new computer here. I need to upgrade some stuff. I need to get a mic and, you know, maybe a better camera eventually. But this works right now. I'm learning how to use OBS and stuff. How was it dealing with your worst cellie? So once you've done a lot of time, for the most part, you're not just going to live with anybody for where you live. Even if it's in a provincial, nothing in there that you own, you're still going to fight for your space because that's your space for the time that you're there. So unlikely if you're somebody who's doing time and has done time, you're just going to accept anybody in your cell. But sometimes somebody's not a bad guy and they might just be a horrible cellie. Like they might slap chew and snore like a truck. And you really think they're a cool dude, but it's really difficult to live with them. Those kind of situations for me are the worst because, man, snoring can make you crazy. I remember having cellies that snore and be standing over them, just wanting to, you know, like it's crazy. It can drive you mad almost when you're confined in a space that you can't leave. And some people, they chainsaw snore, rip the walls down, tear the paint off. You stay up too there, brah. King Rook, you already know. You're on a $50,000 bail and have an ankle monitor too. Yeah, it's stressful, dog. I found it stressful. Now, you do get used to it. After a while, you get used to it. It stops being so annoying. But having to plug it in, you got to be like laid up with this thing charging in the wall. It's crazy, you know? It's just an extra stress for when you're on parole, an extra inconvenience. Because that's all it really is, right? It's like inconveniencing your life as much as possible to see if you break. That's exactly what it is. Because I guess the logic may be if they break, then they can't handle everyday situations. But I don't think that's the case. I just think that it's the revolving door policy, and they don't want everybody to be successful. So they make it almost impossible for somebody who's in a certain state of mind or at a certain point in their criminal lifestyle years. You know what I mean? Like, you need to offer more than just locking somebody in a warehouse situation and then releasing them to a halfway house for 6 months or 3 months and then saying later. And then anytime they get a parole violation, you throw them back in jail. They lose everything they just worked for, regardless how petty the violation. It's a setup. Yeah, you know. But that's what it is. I found last time, though, it was very easy because I was in a state of mind where I was ready, where I didn't want to go back to prison anymore. I separated myself from the people I knew weren't good for me. And it was easy after that. I started thinking, like, if these people are my friends, why are they trying to get me high the day I come out of prison? Why are they putting me in situations that could get me arrested? Why? It's not your friends, right? And you have to start thinking about that. Misery loves company. Being somebody's drug-using acquaintance is not the same as being somebody's friend, even if you have that friendship deep down. People's priorities change when they're in active addiction. So, you already know, Cheryl J. Phil, I don't mention names on my channel, but I've paid attention a little bit to I pay attention to what goes on in Toronto and in the rap scene, because I really like Toronto hip hop right now. I think Toronto hip hop is dope. I think it's coming up. I think the production is elevating, and I just think there's a lot of real talent in the city, and I like listening and supporting the music. Okay, so you can't go anywhere. Yeah, that sucks. What's up, Northern Pike, man? What are you saying? Any more questions? My lawyer just got my disclosure, 500 pages. That's a nice disclosure. That'll take a few months for them to go through. 10 or 15 appearances. You know what I mean? Yeah, as soon as they have all the evidence, then you'll have a pretrial. And when you have a pretrial, then they're going to give you, the first kind of idea of what they're looking for. And then you'll know, like, is this a case that I'm going to fight? Or is this a case that I could plead out or whatever? I don't know your situation personally. Do you listen to classic rock? Weird question, but just curious. I listen to everything. I'm more into like grunge rock, but I do like some classic rock songs for sure. What determines which range you're put on? Nothing. Luck of the draw. Now sometimes if the feds know you've been going through there a lot of the time, they might let you say, hey, throw me on this block or put me over here on this pod. They might allow you to do that. But most of the time it's just where they decide to put you that day. And if you want to go to arrange with your homie or something after that, then that's a process, you know. But you go where you go. You go where they put you. People, places, things must be avoided, cut off if necessary. 100%. Phil Carney, still listen to house music, techno. What do you mean still? Hey, yo, been a while. How you been? What's up, Steve? How you doing? What's going on? Next question. I'm on here like another 8 or 9 minutes. I appreciate that, man. Oh, yeah. Not like regularly, though. But this is the thing. When I used to party back in the day, it wasn't really about the music for me. When I used to go to raves, I used to love raving, but it wasn't about the music. The music was just, okay, well, whatever. Go, Leafs, go. Who are my picks for the rest of the playoffs? Honestly, I'm just like this is the thing. My dad is a Canadiens fan, and my dad's an old man, so I'm happy that they're winning for him secretly. I'll never tell him, but man, they got heart though. I'll tell you that they got heart, but I think Tampa will win it. That's my guess. I'm not even sure Montreal is gonna, beat Vegas ultimately, but. You never know till it's over, and they were up. I don't know what the series is at right now. I know it was at 2-1. So who knows, man? If they get there, I rate it because nobody saw that coming. Nobody saw that skill. Obviously they have a world-class goalie, and when you have a world-class goalie who's on a hot streak, it can happen. I'm going to have to fight it because I'm a permanent resident. I'm not a Canadian citizen. So do you think they're going to try to deport me if I lose my charges? Yeah, so pretty much, yeah, Steve. Pretty much any time that you get like more than 6 months or a year, if you're not a Canadian citizen, you will be given an immigration hearing. You may be given an immigration bail. They may not even require you to go to jail, but I'm sure you'll get a hearing. But sometimes people skate. It just depends on your situation, how long you've been here. You'll have to just wait and see. But if it's a major conviction and you do major time, for sure, 100%, you are going to go through an immigration process. And for me, that's anything over like a year. Anything violent. I think that, Canada has pretty strict immigration like rules and processes. I think that, you can come to Canada if you're, going to school or if you're here on vacation and stuff. But as soon as you have a criminal record or as soon as they think you're shady, you're out of here. And it'll be next to impossible to get back in legally, Yeah, you already know, Steve. You're here now, brother. But I've seen guys, man, on the immigration process for years, and it's brutal. No criminal charges at all. Basically held against their will. It's crazy. Jerry, man, you already know, brother. Have a great week. Is it possible to move provinces when you're on parole? I think it's possible for sure. It'll be a process. It'll have to be approved from all ways. So if you're in a halfway house, you'll have to get accepted to another halfway house, where in whichever province you want to go to. And then there's a process of that getting accepted, and then you'll fly. But it's possible, because I have seen people do it before. What was the worst day you had besides time or outside would stick to you the most? I think, being abused definitely was a bad day, but I would definitely say finding out that my brother was charged for murder, 2 counts, first-degree murder. I'd say that would probably sticks out to me the most. Tore my whole family apart. It was a major situation. So for me, I would say it's not even close, really. Do you have any chance of getting any sort of pardon to go to the States? I wouldn't say that I'm landlocked, because you can go to certain places, but I have a lot of convictions, done a lot of federal time. It would take me a long time. I'd have to be like well behaved for a long, long time before they'd ever consider a pardon. Actually appreciate that. But you never know, man. You never know. Stay on the right path. Anything is possible. And at the end of the day, who knows what's going to happen in the future? Who knows what laws change? Everything is getting way more liberal, and who knows? Still in 12 to go, man. I remember seeing a guy that was on a DUI causing death, and he had done 9.5 years and was 6 months away from his stat. And this guy had been in for a long time and had his whole cell packed up and had it all ready to go a few months before he got out. And they came to him and told him, nah, unpack, you're staying till your warrant, and that's another 5 years. So, whew, man, time, it's crazy. It feels like it's never going to end. It feels like it's the end of the world, and all of a sudden, you're walking out the gate. It just kind of happens that way. Armed robbery charges, robbery with a firearm. Oh, yeah. If you get convicted of that, for sure, 100%, you're going to go through immigration. So if you get convicted, what would happen is you would get sentenced, say it's federal, which it would be. Say you get, 5 years. After your 3 and a bit years of your stat, then they're going to send you to an immigration provincial jail somewhere like the Toronto West. And you're going to go through the process of trying to get a bail. Most likely, though, if you've been convicted of a major charge like that, they're dipping you. So you'll probably just be getting parole to get deported. So you got to fight that charge for sure. Yeah, you already know, Steve. And it's possible, bro. It's possible. And I think not everybody, but a lot of people, even in that lifestyle, kind of come to a time where they're like, I'm exhausted. It's tiring living this life, being kind of at war with your own mind all the time, and just having to be, on point like that all the time. It gets stressful, and it wears you down. And maybe you stay looking young physically, but up here, it's hard on you. It's hard on you. Maplehurst, the worst. Thank you so much for answering my questions, man. Definitely going to support the channel. I'm sure with all my people, much respect for you. You already know, man. All right, guys. I got to go. I got to go eat dinner. Appreciate you. You already know. Love each and every one of you. The new Matt Clark. We're going to get some videos up very soon. Love y'all.